Hey guys, Joe here, and I completely changed the plot of the video I was going to shoot today because I'm not trying to sound self-serving, and I want to talk about a issue that I've been dealing with more and more, especially with my body being wrecked, and that subject is how to talk to people that aren't in your position about what you're going through, and how to ask them politely to change the way they act. It's really hard to say it without sounding like a dick, and that's probably why I have such a problem with it. Now, I've been dealing with physical problems my whole life. You can, wherever the video is, and it's not even all the physical problems, it's just what I could ramble off in a 20-minute video. But the biggest thing is, and I'm still guilty of it today, is I don't tell people how bad it is, and I don't ask for help as often as I probably should, and I don't accept the help in the way I probably could, because historically it's very difficult to get somebody who isn't afflicted with what you have to just understand what you have, to just accept the problem, to just be supportive. Now, what I mean by that is, and I've actually had a conversation with my parents who are going to watch this, and I've asked them, just ask them, and they've been really good about it since, but when I tell you what's wrong with me, and I'm not saying me, just me, but as a generalization, when a person with chronic injuries, chronic problems, chronic nerve damage, whatever the case may be, tells you what's wrong with them, we're not looking for answers from you. We're not looking for a diagnosis from you. We're not looking for you to compare the severity of your stubbed toe with the fact that I can't move my leg today. Life, while a competition, is not a competition. You understand what I'm saying? I don't care about how your arm feels when my arm literally feels like it's being ripped off my body right now. And if you ask me how I'm feeling and I give you that answer, my arm feels like it's being ripped off, I'm not asking you to tell me, well, maybe you should put heat on it, maybe you should put ice on it, maybe you should rest, maybe you should elevate, maybe you should... Look, I've been dealing with physical problems, issues, damage of the genetic and self-inflicted variety since I was a teenager. Even before then, when I was a preteen, I used to do stupid shit and get hurt all the time. But because I have 25, 30 years of experience dealing with this pain, with these issues, with this kind of symptom, means I've probably tried everything that's going to come out of your head. Okay? You're not going to one day walk up to me and say, oh, you can't see out of your right eye. Maybe you should try, like putting some Visine in it. Oh, you have a headache. Why don't you put an ice pack on your head? Thank you. Thank you for finally coming up with the one thing that dozens of doctors and nearly 1,000 pages of medical documentation and more tests than I can count, more operations than I can count, have never told me before. Hey, doc, guess what? My uncle told me if I put an ice pack on my head, it's going to cure my cluster headaches that put me in bed and make me puke continuously. Why didn't you think of that? That's not how it works. When somebody's in pain, and it's chronic, and it's like what I'm going through, understanding and compassion are all we're asking for. Wow, emotional. You can understand the pain. You can say you respect how somebody feels. But unless you've been in that level of pain, just don't. See, if I didn't do one takes, I'd be starting over, but I'm not going to. So, I guess what I'm saying is, don't be an ass. Don't compare your injuries to somebody else's. If you're in a support group for it and you have the exact same ailments, injuries, and problems, talk about it. Talk about your experiences. But if you're somebody who gets one headache a year and you're able to go to work with that headache, number one, that's not a migraine. That's a headache. But number two, you don't know what we're going through. If you've never done what I did, you don't know what I'm going through. Even if you're a relative and you think you know what I'm going through, you don't know what I'm going through. So, that got dark, didn't it? Yeah, well, back to one takes and regular videos, I guess, for now. I couldn't see well out of my left eye yesterday, so I couldn't edit, so that's just how it goes. Anyway, that's it for this one. Dark, depressing, sorry, but it's one of those subjects that's hard to talk about and needed to be talked about. So, subscribed if you haven't. Subscribe if you hadn't. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs down if you're just a dickbag. And as always, talk to you later.